this episode, Tyler, Dude, JD, and Jason sit down to drink through all the Booker's offerings from 2024. We even crack into an international 2015 travel Booker's at the end. Tune in for all the fun on this episode of The Bourbon Hunters. Have you thought about supporting our podcast? Head on over to our website at www.bourbonhunters.com where you can by picking up one of our Kinsey Drams or ordering a fancy bourbon shirt. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on our hunt for great bourbon. Reward yourself and sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I'm Dude Poole, and I'm joined by
Brad Bryan,
Fritter, Jason C. Did not expect that.
All right, guys. So today we are going to review, talk about a whole bunch of stuff as we always do, regular episode. But we've got Bookers in the bottles today. We got the 1, 2, 3, and 4 batches from 2024. So a little bit of a 2024 review, if you will. So we've already got 2024-01 poured into our glasses, and Brett is responsible for reading the details for this.
got him queued up, ready to go.
You will be graded.
That's the. You remember that from Dumb and Dumber?
He can't even read.
He's like the.
Today.
Go ahead, sir.
Are you ready for batch
he's
one?
ready.
I didn't know if there was an introduction any more than
gave
that.
the
Right to it.
All right.
Do it to it, Lars.
This is going to be Springfield batch. And it says, Dad was a natural storyteller. While out on the road to promote his namesake bourbon, he would tell anyone who would listen about how Booker's bourbon came about. Distributors and other industry folks thought that Jim Beam hired an actor. That's how good he was. He told a lot of different stories, but one of his favorites took place during a visit to Chicago. While eating at a nice restaurant, Booker's served a so-called country ham. However, it didn't quite match up to his idea of a true bona fide country ham, so he leaned over to his publicist, the right-hand man, and asked him to retrieve the ham he had stashed in his trunk for an upcoming Alaskan fishing trip. This is really long.
That's what she said.
Booker wanted to show the chef what genuine country ham tastes like. After a bit of back and forth, the ham made its way to the restaurant where Booker generously shared it with both the chef and the diners.
Are you sure this isn't the story for country ham?
That's what I was wondering.
I swear to God, this says Springfield bourbon.
Okay.
All right.
So
keep going.
maybe,
Keep going.
I agree, it sounds like country.
Maybe it gets into Springfield. Go for it.
Now I lost my place.
Sorry.
Damn it.
The story
It's like
always got
Tourette's,
the
he's
whole
gotta start
room
at the beginning.
laughing.
I know, I just want ham now.
Many people think Dad was from Bardstown, the bourbon capital of the world, but it wasn't until later in his adolescence that he moved into the Beam family home there. As a boy, he grew up in Springfield, Kentucky. Ayo.
Nailed it.
A small rural town about 18 miles down the road. While the town has grown over the years alongside bourbon and a few other industries in the area, it was a farming community with many residents working in tobacco when Dad was young. Many years before he became master distiller, and he was became the master distiller he was known for. Forgot the in there. I was like, what?
Tahi.
He got the sense of hard work from his time at a farmhand in Springfield. Last paragraph. One thing most folk don't know about the Springfield area is that is where Abraham Lincoln's legacy began. Didn't know that either. I knew he was from Kentucky, though. Beyond that, I'd say Dad was probably one of the more recognizable figures to come from Springfield. Even when he moved away, he spent a lot of time going back for family dinner, holidays, and even an extended no-family reunion every summer. You never forget your hometown, and this is a batch in honor of Dad's. I hope you enjoy it as much as he would have.
I thought
That was freaking long.
they're all
long.
I thought Abraham Lincoln was from Illinois.
No, he is from Kentucky. That's their claim to fame.
Did he live in Illinois, though?
He may have lived in Illinois, but
He
was
served
born,
as a governor or some kind of a
Yeah.
position in Illinois.
he was
before
born
he
in
ran for
Kentucky, though.
president.
Okay. So
He was president? I'm kidding.
His legacy ended in a top hat.
that was good.
It did.
If only they shot higher in the hat.
Yeah. Sad story.
Anywho. So, all right.
Maybe
So,
his head was that big.
Bookers. I mean, I think we've all had some Bookers at some time. Some shape, some taste, some release, whatever, at one point in our bourbon drinking, whiskey, travels or whatever. I've been pretty hit and miss with Bookers for myself. I think the biggest complaint that I normally hear is that it's hot. Which I will agree that even the ones I've really enjoyed have been pretty hot, but I think that's just part of their charm, in my opinion. When you like them, the hotness doesn't bother me. When you don't like them, I feel like the hotness is front and center. Like that spice, that hot, that visceral heat that comes off from the proof. What did we say the proof was on this one?
I don't think we did say the proof on this
Because I think that's
Or
always
the age.
part of the personality, in my opinion.
Well,
So
it
it's-
is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, it is 7 years, 7 months, and 8 days. Very specific. It is 124.5 proof, 62.25% alcohol by volume.
That's not crazy.
Yeah, now remember Booker's was introduced in 1988, I believe. And apparently this was the release that was supposed to go right up against the whole Blanton's craze. Because when Blanton's was introduced as kind of a premium bourbon, single barrel.
Them and makers were kind of going back and forth.
Booker No wasn't really crazy about single barrel because of the different flavor profile, so he went with the whole small batch thing, which is what Booker's is, and so interesting.
Now, Booker's weren't originally released like this, right?
No, Booker's.
It started off as just a small batch, right?
It was always a small batch product. However, before it became a marketed product, Booker No was just filling bottles of this and giving them to family and friends.
But were they released? Wasn't there a time when they weren't released like this with the 01, 02, 03, 04? They were just a shelf product, right?
Yeah, they were just released. They were released with other, I think, numbers and codes on them.
C93.
Yeah,
and
like the
other stuff
C.
like that.
Yeah, they did have numbers on them, but they
Okay.
weren't. Yeah, and I don't know enough about the history of those releases to
Know when that started or how that was done.
Yeah, like did they have 3 or 4 releases a year like they do now? Was it only a couple releases? Not really sure.
Right.
So I've been spending a little bit of time with this, nosing it as you guys were talking. I get some bubble gum on the nose.
Totally bubblegum.
It took me some time to get past the ethanol, and once I did, like I was getting that sugary bubble gum like out of a baseball card pack or something like that.
This tastes like being at a major league baseball game. It is bubblegum and peanuts.
Oh my god, the peanuts! It's like it's almost like the peanut dust that you get on your fingers as you're reaching into the peanut bag. You know the peanut.
Which is one of those kind of ubiquitous flavor profiles you get
I
with
like
Booker's.
this. Damn.
And the real like Booker heads, the guys. So like for me, like you were just talking about, some of those Bookers can be hit and miss.
Yeah.
Bookers for me, when I find a Bookers I really love, it's one of those ones that's like really dense and has like some really nice dark fruit notes. You just don't come across that very often. But I know the guys that like the Bookers that are just pure peanut bombs, like Dusty Funk, barred peanut shell type of like dry peanut shells. I've talked to guys that love that flavor profile and love that about Bookers. So I think it just depends on what side you're on.
This has a good element of that.
Yeah, this has a good amount of peanut.
The peanut finish. It's almost like it's almost like the bubblegum starts and then it ushers it way into the peanut on the mid to back of the palate, and then it finishes with that dusty peanut note. I like this.
There's like a light salinity to this, like a sea
little
saltiness.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I remember passing on this when I saw it earlier this year, or last year I should say, and I'm kind of kicking myself now. I kind of like this.
Yeah, this one drinks really nice.
Yeah. This doesn't taste overproofy. It has a good balance, I feel like, of the front of the tongue to the middle and back of the tongue, and a nice medium to long finish. I'm really enjoying
Yeah,
this.
this is good.
What does our bubblegum expert say?
So I was going to read the master distiller notes on it.
Jim Beam's notes are always the worst.
Yeah, it just says
It's like brown sugar, caramel, vanilla.
you got it.
That's
It was
pretty
like
much every bourbon they release has those notes.
pleasant aroma of sweet brown sugars and vanilla.
There you
Called
go.
it dead on.
There you go.
The taste is balanced with pleasant heat. So that's not even heat's not even a taste profile.
Pleasant heat and oak.
Yeah.
That's what they call
Like,
it. Yeah.
which is long and warm, and I appreciate on cold winter days.
When you read the other three, it's gonna say the same shit.
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
get like the sweet bazooka gum on this.
Yeah, that's what I
But-
was
Bazooka Joe is a good a
Yeah.
good call out.
But I also get like a peanut brittle.
Yeah, I was going to say brittle, but I to me it was the peanut. and then it finished. The peanut kind of finished into a peanut dust, like if you've been putting your hand into the bag, grabbing the peanuts out, cracking the shells,
To keep with the baseball
and then you get the
theme,
finger in your mouth.
keep with the baseball theme, Cracker Jack.
Yeah,
I got kind of like that.
Maybe,
that caramel coated peanut, almost popcorny note.
The multi-layered, like faceted, like flavor. I feel like that could be an easy thing to say. That's not wrong. I like that too. There is enough caramel that I feel like that with that and the peanut and the I could see that. That's pretty good. This is good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised about this. I wasn't real sure what I was going to think about this.
This is good. I just wish it was. So what's also nice is like in the last, was it the second half of? Well, I can't say last year anymore. So the second half of 23, I feel like the age statement shifted from 6 years to now 7 years. So now we're getting the 7-year age, because for the longest time, every Booker's that came out was like 6 years, some odd months and some odd days.
Yeah, like almost 7.
Yeah,
maybe.
now we're getting into 7. I think the latter half of 23 and all of 24, all the releases now are 7 years.
Well, they have that
change.
dedicated production location now. I wonder if that's allowing them to produce more, which allows it to age longer, and I wonder if that's part of it.
And again, remember, it's always because it's a small batch, so that's the youngest liquid in the batch.
It might have some 8
could
or
have
9
some
in
older.
there, who knows?
Never really tastes like it though.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of figuring the majority of the batch is probably that younger whiskey.
What's the white dog on this taste like, JD?
Creamed corn. I still want to pour it over my mashed potatoes.
I knew that was coming. I was just waiting for it.
I've never seen someone stop a tour as quickly as when he said that at our Jim Beam tour. Everyone just kind of stopped and looked at him.
It's like a record screeched. Like,
yeah, it's like you walk into a bar you don't belong into. You know,
Otis, my man.
The jukebox
Very
stops and
nice.
everyone looks.
What movie's that?
Animal House.
Thank you.
House.
I'm just making sure he knows.
He's not going to quote a movie he doesn't know.
Hey, you want to hear me quote Fletch?
The only thing you'd be able to say is Coke and Taco. That's the only thing you'd know.
Broken taco.
It's. He actually says Coke and Taco.
Sounds like broken taco.
It's not. I've seen it a million times.
Broken taco.
That doesn't make sense.
I am going to say I don't love this one. It's probably because I don't love bubblegum.
I'm not that crazy about it. I wasn't when I first tried it.
I'm
I
not
enjoy
mad
it.
I don't have this bottle.
Again,
personally.
I just look for those extra layers.
Yeah.
This is about as straightforward as you get with the
It
Bookers.
is. It hasn't really changed much or evolved as I've been drinking it, but what it did have, the layers that it did have, I was happy with.
Yeah.
I
So-
do need to thank Orion for providing this sample for us, though.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Orion,
Orion.
does he have a belt?
I was like the belt.
He
Like
wears a belt.
Is his name Orion?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Orion Curtis.
He
That's
is
a friend of-
He's from Ireland, and
Good.
his name's Ryan, but they call him Orion.
Damn. Is that true?
He's got a hemisphere.
It was very.
What?
He's very convincing. He's very convincing sometimes.
Sometimes it's funny. My boss will look at me sometimes and look at me and say, "You can't tell if I'm joking or not." Sometimes,
Yeah.
like, 'cause I'll deadpan it, and he always thinks that's pretty funny.
No, he's a super happy guy. Like, that's why I say he has a hemisphere about him. He's really bubbly.
I'll tell
happy.
Orion I said
He
his
has
name is
a
legendary.
hemisphere about him.
Yep.
I've never heard that before. Have you?
He's had
A
what?
presence.
He has a
Like
hemisphere.
an
hemisphere. He's
aura
got a
around
presence.
him, like an aura.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
Super genuous.
This was the
guy.
one that was already there, right?
Yes, that's
Did you
correct.
say super genuous?
Yes.
Is that a number? Is that a name? Is that a
Tyler
word?
I
here?
don't know.
Generous.
This is mine.
super generous.
Was that
Gen-
generous?
It was like ingenuous thinking of generous.
It was some Michigan.
He combined
shortcut.
generous and genuine, I think, somehow.
Some Michigan shortcut. I don't know.
Somehow that's going to come across Southern, right, Brett?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
So why don't I finish pouring these? You start talking about this
All
one.
right.
So this is Booker's 2024. Oh, 03. What are you doing,
Is that 03?
Jack?
We can set it off
You
to
had
the side.
one job.
We don't
Well,
have
I
to
thought
go
they
in
were in
order.
order. I just figured they were like two.
They were in order until they got put back.
Yeah.
They don't have to be in order.
Well, I
We
guess
can-
Yeah,
I
they,
can
they
set
don't
these
need
two
to be
off
in
to the
order.
side.
But
Yeah, just let them air out.
We'll do three.
Let's go with the three.
All right. Well, I have two queued up, so let me change.
Three is the
Should we go 4 next and then 2 last?
3 is the master distiller batch, isn't it?
It is the Master Distiller's batch.
But isn't 4 a master distiller too?
Kind of, sorta.
This one isn't. So,
While you're looking that up, 65.15 proof.
Was that 3 Stooge?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 65.15%, which is 130.3 proof.
Okay.
And it's 7 years, 7
8
days.
months and 7 days.
Oh, 7 years, 8 months, 7 days.
Yeah. Okay, this one isn't nearly as long. Bear with me.
That's what she said.
I wish I had a voice like Morgan Freeman.
You want a magnifying glass?
The group was made up. No, I'm kidding.
He's reading off the
The
card.
group was made up
Yeah.
of.
This group was made up of legends like my dad, Booker No, and some of his peers at other distilleries during the time. These guys, the elder statesmen, as we call them, paved the way for master distillers to get recognized for their crafts.
By the way, I love the story behind this batch. It's awesome.
They became the very first class inducted into the Bourbon Hall of Fame. I remember once I was with my dad when they all met up in Chicago for a festival. We were catching up at a bar, and to most of the people there, we were just 6 random guys drinking bourbon. But someone pointed to us, and the bartender said, "You've got bourbon royalty in here." We all laughed and raised our glasses. While it's true enough now, it wasn't always like this. Back in the day, being a master distiller just meant running the distillery. But these elder statesmen changed all that, raising the bar for all of us. The job went from spending every waking moment in the distillery to traveling the world, and all while introducing people to our beloved bourbon. They became spokesmen and celebrities in their own right. They made the job as big as they were. I've looked up to these guys my whole life. They showed me the ropes of how to make great whiskey and built my love and respect for everything that goes into the craft. I'm proud to follow in their footsteps and honor them with this batch.
Love that story.
It's a good story. You asleep over there? Was it that bad?
It looked like he was asleep.
Like he was like, this motherfucker
He
won't
must
shut
love
up.
it. He's lost in the nose.
I was nosing it with my eyes closed. I was
Is
not
my
asleep.
voice just that
It is
harmonic?
soothing. It is soothing.
I'm going to try that.
So that story. So he refers to them as the elder statesmen. I have read in books
love that
they were called
phrase.
They were called also the road warriors
Oh,
because
I like
they
that.
were on the road all the time
yeah.
trying to save bourbon, and it was apparently a combination of Booker No, Elmer T. Lee,
Jimmy Russell.
and Jimmy Russell. And I think there was a fourth in there. I think it was maybe Parker Beam or somebody else. Somebody from Heaven Hill, maybe. Trying to remember who that was. But those were the Road Warriors. And these are the guys going out like at a time when nobody wanted to drink bourbon and like trying to save bourbon.
Wasn't the Four Roses guy, was it?
No, I don't think it was him.
Jim Rutledge?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know.
I think I had this, and I might have crushed it. I know it's gone.
The Master Distiller batch?
I think so.
No.
I have not opened any of these. I've had them all year long, collecting them, and except for the first one, which I'm kind of kicking myself now, because I really did enjoy that.
I don't think you missed anything.
See, I like this one way better already.
I think that's why I crushed
See,
this
when
one.
you start comparing these, all of a sudden number one comes off way more youthful compared to this. This actually has a little bit more depth and
But
age to it.
they're almost the exact same age,
Which
or at
is-
least
which is crazy.
from a minimum standpoint.
From a minimum standpoint.
Right, there might be a 12-year in here. Who knows?
Oh yeah, there's some like
There's like a chocolatiness about it.
there's
Yeah,
like
like-
a confectioner like thickness.
That brown sugar that they put on every damn
Yeah.
tasting note, I feel like is way more prominent here.
It's like molasses almost, like the thickness to
Like
it.
you
to
get
me.
the peanut, but I feel like it's like smothered in caramel.
Yeah.
So this has the exact same confectioner sugar as the last one, but not the bubblegum flavor.
Exactly.
So it's like the confectioner sugar without the bubblegum.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, brown sugar for sure. So that confectioner sugar hits the tongue as soon as you taste it, and then it travels into some brown sugar. I'm getting a little bit of baking spice on the back end.
Yeah, the cinnamon, which is a
Yeah.
note I love to find in Booker's, is definitely here with the brown sugar. This is like what you want to put around the rim of a glass when you're drinking a pumpkin spice martini
Or just an old
Pumpkin
fashioned.
spice martini.
or pumpkin spice beer, one of those pumpkin beers.
Yeah, this is better than the last one,
Yeah.
but I didn't dislike the last one. This is just better.
There's
That's
like
all.
an Earl Grey tea note about it too.
A little black tea.
Maybe
Still,
black
it
tea
has
note?
it has a little bit of like that black tea and also
Yeah.
a little bit of that peanut dryness on the back end. I feel like that hint of peanut is still there.
but not
But-
over drying to where you're
yeah,
tannic.
this
or-
is more of like a payday bar where the peanut's there, but it's like all covered in chocolate.
yeah.
Black tea's a good call out, I think. I
No,
like
that's good.
I'm totally
I get that once in a while, but I wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't say it.
I get black tea on the nose now more,
Yeah,
which
same.
is kind of crazy.
I never get black tea until someone says it, but like you said on the nose, I get it big time.
I feel like it's a subtle thing, but once you recognize it, it's a
Yeah.
good like layer that helps with the other flavors.
That is tasty.
That's good. maybe a little bit of like that rye mash bill is coming through a little bit here. Maybe getting a little bit more rye on this particular batch.
Yeah, that's good. So real quick, we haven't really talked much lately. I know I haven't seen you since our trip.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to?
Probably, I don't know. Just recovering after the holidays.
Yeah.
Letting the liver recover.
Yeah, I did all my end of the year tastings and stuff, and
Yeah.
I got a bunch of videos like ready to go for like 2025 and cool ideas, and so yeah, just been kind of trying to take it easy, to be honest.
So your 2024 best of series video is
My
out.
video, yeah, already dropped.
It's out. So
yeah.
check out Mash and Drum for that. JD and I just went on a nice little 2-day barrel pick experience with Bourbon Enthusiast.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was really fun. And holy shit, man. Could we have gotten any luckier?
Spoiled.
Like
Rotten.
first day, Steve Nally joins us at Bourbon, or Bardstown Bourbon Company.
He's my favorite distiller, too.
He just joins us doing the pick. Like, he didn't do the pick with us, but he came in just as we started the pick and then actually was drinking everything and giving his feedback and everything. That was
And
outstanding.
he hung out and invited us back to his office.
He is the best.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so when we were done with that, we made our selection. He invited us back to his office. We got to taste some old Maker's Mark.
1993.
Yeah, 1993
Oh, that's
Maker's
cool.
Mark.
That's
so it was while he was
cool.
still there before
Yeah.
the changes.
That was his own distiller.
That's why he's called the Wheat King.
Yeah. And then he
He
let
told us that cool story, though, when we were doing our barrel pick about when he was at Wyoming Whiskey, and they asked him to do a rye, and he's like, I don't do a rye. And they were like, well, we're telling you to do a rye. We need to do a rye. And he's like, well, I don't do a rye. And so then he had already left, and they called him up because they had dumped his barrels. And they're like, I thought we told you to do a rye. Well, it's 49% rye. I told you I don't do rye.
Yeah,
That's
That's
awesome.
funny.
But we had a 10-year Wyoming while we were there.
Yep.
And then we had something else, too. I don't remember what it was, but it was just cool. He was just a really interesting guy to have because he just had stories.
Dude, when we did the Bardstown Blitz event, never requested him to be there because it was at Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Yeah.
Never requested him to be a part of it. I walk in, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing your tours." I was like, "What?" He goes, "The tours that we're doing for the people that are coming. I'm going to do your tours." I'm like, "Are you like?" I was, I don't know, like just.
No, that's just
It's just so
when it's
so
unexpected,
cool. Yeah.
and you just come and get like that. It's like a bonus.
And then
Like,
he's sitting on the couch and he's actually drinking our pick, which was a rye. And he's like, I'm not crazy about ryes, but this is pretty good. And I was like, okay, all right, thank you.
so we did that on the first day. Then the second day we did 2 picks. We did
Old Forester.
Old Forester, in which Chris Morris
did our tour.
just did our tour because they were off that day. They
Must be slow.
so they were off that day.
Okay.
All what is it? Bourbon
Barb.
Yeah, she was off that day. She's the one who normally does their single barrel
Yep,
picks.
yep.
That's what we did. Yeah,
Like none of their
Barb.
fermenters had anything in it, so like they're shut down for a week.
Yeah.
They weren't running. The still wasn't running. Nothing was going on. I mean, all the fermenters were empty, right? They were all empty. Yeah.
Okay to drop a phone in there if you.
Yeah, you could have gotten it back out if you
Yeah.
if you did. So he let it. He did our actual tour. He did our tasting for the barrel pick, and then
Did you
afterwards,
guys pick a barrel proof or a 100
100
proof?
proof.
well, that's a funny story. It was supposed to be a barrel proof,
They put it in wrong.
and they put it in the system wrong, so they couldn't change it
Probably
after they put
better
it in.
off you got a 100 proof.
No,
Yeah.
the barrel proof was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, was
so
it?
like we held some back of each one. So
Oh, okay.
so he drilled the barrel, poured it into the big carafe or whatever you want to call it, and then he poured out as much as he needed to make it 100 proof to add
Got it.
water. But we held back the A, B, and the C barrels,
That's
and
cool.
they were good. They were good at barrel strength too. I was really surprised.
And then he sipped on the Bourbon Hunters Old Forester pick.
He did.
Oh, nice.
He liked it. Yeah, he thought it was good. But he finished off our tour after that. He took a picture of us in front of, which I need to get from James, in front of the still
Yes.
of all of us. And then when we were done, we had 117 waiting for us. The new 117i.
Yeah, Warehouse
Oh, the
House.
Warehouse High one?
Yeah, if you want to,
Sweet.
got some back there if you want to taste some.
Cool.
But yeah, so James only got 1, so I took his and got 2 others. So I got 3.
Nice.
And it was good because he let us taste it while we were there. So that was part of our tasting is you start with the 86 just to kind of level set your palate. And then you do your 3 barrels. And then he gave us a taste of the, did we all taste the Bourbon Hunters? Or was it just him?
We all did.
Okay.
Did you bring it, I'm assuming?
He brought it.
Nice.
I didn't even think to, but he brought it. And then we had the 117, and I was like, damn. And I was like, well, maybe this is what they're going to have for us. But that morning or the morning before, they said 1924 was going to be available on Friday. We were there on Thursday. I was thinking, well, maybe
we'll get a shot in 1924.
But I was actually glad we got the 117 because it was outstanding. It was really good.
Probably better than 1924 too.
Yeah,
like
this is a new
98.
batch of 1924, so I'm hoping that maybe each year it's a little different.
Yeah,
but,
That's a good point.
and then after that, we went to lunch and then went to Nulu, where Nulu was just a free for all. You just kind of go in and start tasting out of barrels, whatever you want.
Basically what it is.
We picked 3 barrels.
We got pretty tipsy.
You got pretty
I
tipsy.
did.
3 barrels?
Yeah, we picked a.
Are they still pricing those things at like 120?
I don't know what that means, but
Like per bottle?
Yeah.
So
well, one of them's 250 because it's a hazmat,
it's a hazmat. It's a 10-year hazmat MGP.
and it was freaking phenomenal. Did not taste like a hazmat. It's going to be 250, and it's probably only got 70 bottles in it.
And then
it's a shorty too.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really good.
he picked a maple brulee.
Maple
That's
Brulee, which was
119 proof.
that was really good too.
That's going to be like $60-$70.
Oh, that's
Not
good.
bad.
That's good.
And then he picked the one that you like,
A
the double oaked, the
9-year
9-year double
oaked.
MGP.
which is
131.
they're launching a new label
Yep.
called New Louisville. So Nulu.
Kentucky stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just they took the Nulu brand and spelled it out, New Louisville.
Got it.
And then it's got a new label. It's pretty cool looking. It's got a skyline picture of Louisville on it. It's a really cool brand. And then they started a bottled and bond brand too, based off of what's his name?
Starts with an H.
Anyway, it's his last name. And so they did a bottle and bond label branded off of his name, the guy that we were there doing the pick with. But it was all good. It was all, I mean, what's interesting is the first time I went to Nulu, they were having like 4 and 5 year old barrels. And now this time they were 8, 9, 10-year-old barrels, and it was definitely.
That's because
you could tell.
that's what's out there now.
Yeah, and it was, and that's what he was saying. He was like, they get them, they'll age them, and they are a heat cycled warehouse too.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, they'll age them for a year or two, and it's just the change that happens. So he's going to take that. The one we did that's going to be a hazmat was 139.2 proof, I think, and he's going to throw it up in the top for like an extra month, and he said it'll be a hazmat in like a couple weeks. He said,
Jesus,
so
crazy.
but it was good, man. It was so good.
That's
I
cool.
was really surprised at how good that high of a proof drank.
We were drinking inside a Repeal, and we picked up an extra taster.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. It was a good.
It's a nice little 2 down.
Somebody recognized
because he
him.
sent me the photos. I'm like, what the hell are you doing back there so quick?
Yeah.
What's happening?
well, so
Just couldn't get enough.
the thing about Bourbon Enthusiast, James will if people back out.
He's a Florida guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
so
in
he has,
Jacksonville.
So he has to like fly up, like yeah.
But what happens is his top level Patreons, he guarantees 1 barrel pick a year that you're invited to. If you pass, then you're reset to the next year. But you get at least invited to 1 a year. I end up getting to do 4 or 5 a year with him because someone always backs out, and it's always last minute. And
you can just drive right down.
And then he knows that I'm only 3 hours away, and he's like, "Hey, can you come down?"
Cool.
And I'm like, "Can I bring a friend?" And I
Can
invited.
I bring a fritter?
Well, and I tried to bring Tyler for Old Forester and JD for the Bardstown. But Tyler didn't want to go down and drive himself. If I was going to be there for 2 days and stay the night, he didn't want to come down separately. So JD ended up doing both with me.
Such a girl. He's such a lady.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's too much money to spend on gas." I'm like, "What? Like, you're forgetting the experience that you're about to miss out on." And he had no way of knowing that Chris Morris was going to be there. But still, like, it's just
funny. Mr. I love my big truck.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I'm gonna save on gas, guys. Jesus, that's a far trip, dude.
Do you know how much it costs to drive this
3
thing?
friggin' hours? Come on.
I know.
I told him I would split it with him.
Well, the best
by
part
the
was
way, he sounds just like that.
he does. It was remarkable. It was uncanny.
Yeah, it's uncanny.
So the funny thing was when we were down there, he's like, "Hey, is there any chance I can jump in?" So I asked, and he's like, "No, we're actually full now." But I was just like, "Why didn't you just say yes from the
Snooze, you
get-go?"
lose, yeah.
Jackass. Anyway, so what do we think about this one?
I like this one a lot.
Like it a lot better than Batch 1, I can tell you that.
Yep.
For just clarity's sake, this is Batch 3, if you forgot.
we skipped.
We skipped Batch 2. That's my fault.
You
I
had
take
one
full
job.
ownership.
One job.
We're going odd than even.
Yeah.
We're watching it. We're drinking this like watching Star
I like
Wars
it.
in the machete order.
Odds than evens.
We'll go number 2
The
next.
machete order?
Yeah, that's how you watch Star Wars. They call it the machete order.
What's the machete order?
I forgot how it is. Like,
4, 5, 6.
I feel like you watch like 4, 5, 6 first. and
1,
then-
2, 3.
And then you watch the 1, 2, 3 is like a flashback, and then you watch the newer ones. It's called the machete.
So you
order.
watch them in the order of release?
Well, no, because 4, 5, 6.
No, remember
Yes, because 4, 5, 6 came out
So
first.
you said, I think
then
you said it
1, 2.
backwards.
Oh, yeah, I said
Technically,
it
you need to do
backwards.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and you watch 4, 5, 6 as a flashback rather than,
Yeah.
and then you watch the rest.
4, 5, 6 is a flashback.
Yeah, the originals.
The originals wouldn't be a flashback.
It is if you're. Oh wait, let me look it up.
If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's chronological order. If you do it in release
on,
order,
Star
it's 4, 5, 6,
Wars.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Just start with Rogue One.
Don't make me school your fucking asses in fucking Star Wars, because I will. Bring it. Bring it.
Just
You
start,
watch-
Yeah, start with Rogue One.
Rogue One is probably the best Star Wars movie.
The Phantom Menace? Or what? Rogue One.
No, Rogue One.
What, so
Rogue One, standalone movie.
Oh no, you follow the storyline from the rise of Anakin Skywalker through the Clone Wars all the way to his ultimate. So, you watch the movies in the order they are named.
So just 1 through 9, basically.
So, A
in
New
order.
Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones,
But that ruins
Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi.
But that wait,
Force Awakens, and
you
That's
skipped.
way out
You
of
went from
order.
Revenge of the Sith to Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
So you're skipping 4 and 5. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 6.
No, 1, 4.
That's what he just said. Revenge of the Sith.
But he already said A New Hope, which is
Oh
4.
wait. So read the order again.
The entire purpose of the machete was to find a new way to watch the Star Wars movies that focus on storytelling rather than the chronological or release order. It places a focus on Luke Skywalker as well as Princess Leia and Han Solo.
So it's the Godfather version, basically, with
Yeah.
the flashbacks.
Yeah, with the flashbacks.
The
he
Godfather
kisses
2
his sister.
version.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah, it's quickly becoming
enjoyed it.
quite a popular way to watch the movies among Star Wars fans.
It's becoming quickly a way to.
Yeah, it begins with A New Hope, which is the first Star Wars movie ever made.
Yep, number
This
4.
makes sense because it kicked everything off. Then the order moves to Empire Strikes Back, the sequel. Starting off with these movies introduces the viewer to the core characters, Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. Then introduce the rebellion facing the Empire. Yeah, yes. I mean, look, I'm not going to read all of it.
So
but
they figured out a way to waste 18 hours in a different way.
There's a whole thing with the Avengers and Marvel too that way, where you start with like Captain America, and then it's not the order that they were released, but the order that it like makes sense of when characters are introduced. 'Cause,
Is
like,
there a way to declare shenanigans in that order somewhere?
I mean, you can declare whatever you want, but like
I declare
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Iron Man was like one of the first ones
Well,
released.
Rochambeau.
But it again, if you follow like the timeline of how things happen, that one might be a little heavier.
But yes, can we get into how good Rogue One is?
Rogue One is my favorite.
That's how.
Is that a
all
Disney
the
one
new-
though?
It is.
I don't know if I can get down with
No.
No.
Have you not seen it?
No.
It is the best in the whole series. Honestly. If you've ever seen it, it's basically the prequel to
I'll say this: it's the
A New Hope.
It's the best
Okay.
of all the new movies outside the three.
Is that Adam
I-
Driver in that one?
No.
No.
Then what? I don't know what I'm thinking of. Then
You don't know
those are
what you're
those are
thinking of.
those are the last three.
yeah, and
the
that's
new
why I quit
things.
watching because I'm like they suck.
No, I
Yeah.
thought they were good. They were fine. They were entertaining.
They
This
were-
is this
they
is
were
the
alright.
problem I have with Star Wars fans. It's the rewritten history of what they watched. They were all goofy, kind of childish, and entertaining. Entertaining is the key word. None of them were amazing literature. None of them were amazing storytelling. None of them. They were all things that have been told before in some way, shape, or form.
Well, they all have their own language, too. There's really not much literature in there.
That was my Java.
That was pretty damn good. And you did the tongue wiggle for those of you not able to watch. That was the Jabba getting
That's what he's
choked.
getting choked.
The desert people, the ho, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah.
ha.
But my point is that
Oh, that
there
was
was
like a
no.
demonic Santa.
If you were 40 years old when Star Trek 4, 5, and 6 came out,
Star Wars. You said Star Trek.
How dare you mix the two?
Did I say Star Trek?
You're going to get trolled in the comments.
Shit.
You're going to get so trolled in the
Holy
comments.
shit. I said Star Trek?
You did.
That's going to get a 2. That's going to get a 2-star rating.
2-star rating.
Confuse it.
The dumbass doesn't even know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek.
I think I do like Star Trek better, though. Sorry.
Beam me up, Leia.
But here's the thing. You're a
Sorry.
scientific guy.
Yeah.
I enjoy both. And I actually enjoy the new Star Treks that came out.
Good save.
I enjoyed the new Star Treks.
What is happening?
But no. But
All right, Booker's batch.
son of a bitch. I was getting ready to be on a roll. Go ahead,
You were
Brett.
doing a Belushi?
I was about to be.
All right.
When the Japanese when the Germans
Bomb Pearl Harbor. He's like the Germans.
Germans.
He's like he's on a
let him go. He's on a roll.
The only good thing that came out of the new Star Wars movies, and unfortunately he got killed, was Darth Maul.
Yeah.
That guy was badass, and they killed him off.
But he didn't.
And
but he didn't die.
then
Will you
every
hand
I know he
this to
didn't
Jason?
die, but
can't-
every
I
other
can't reach that far.
but every other damn villain.
What was the general with the 4 arms with the lightsabers? The general.
the mechanical guy?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Grievous?
General Grievous.
Yeah.
But they gave him like a kennel cough. Like I hated that they did that to the villains. Like why does everybody have an ailment? Why don't you just make somebody?
What was the ailment that Darth Maul had?
He didn't. That's why he was so badass.
What was the ailment that Darth Doku had? Or Darth, whatever,
I don't know,
Count
he was-
Doku
He
had?
was fucking 100. I don't know.
That's not an ailment.
But he's like, he was just old and annoying.
But he was so like
But Darth Maul was.
he was the
a
fencing,
badass.
and I liked Doku. He was pretty fucking cool.
The Emperor was like the face in Power Rangers.
Yeah. All right. This is the Beam House batch bourbon. Moving forward.
Yeah, Grievous was like, "I will get you." Had the fucking
Smoke another one, Johnny.
He had the Zoolander cough. I
They
couldn't
should have
stand
had him smoking with one of his hands. He should have had 3 lightsabers and a cigarette. That's what he should have had. That would have been funnier.
And then he lights a cigarette with a saber.
Are you
likes
listening,
it.
George
But
Lucas?
before you move on, Brett, watch Rogue One. You will enjoy
Okay.
that. It is
Yeah,
actually
it's-
really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the way they should have been shot and filmed. It's like real live action. It's not all CGI to death.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I will.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up just around the corner
wait,
and lived next door for years.
Wait, which one is this?
There was no.
Are we on
I
2
know.
or
There
4
was
now?
no introduction.
I know.
Are we
That
on
was the point. That was the point. I wanted to say.
I was walking down the
Story
river.
time with Brett.
Are you reading 2 or 4?
This is 2.
okay.
So we had one first.
Hold on.
What's
Start
this
with
one
the proof
called?
and age, and
What's
then,
it called?
Then go into it. Yeah, the name.
He didn't even say what it was. He just started.
He just
he
It was a warm, sunny
he
day.
just started storytelling us to death.
Booker sat in his rocking chair.
This is the Beam House batch.
Got it.
2024-02. What's the proof?
62.3 alcohol by volume.
Okay.
124.6 proof.
All right.
It is 7 years, 2 months, and 22 days.
So they've all been 7 years of some sort.
Yep.
Okay.
I grew up just around the corner and lived next door for years before moving in after Dad passed away. The Beam House, as the name suggests, had been part of the family for generations. My great-granddad, Jim Beam, lived here. My dad, Booker No, lived here, and now I do. It's just kind of the way it goes in our family. We spend a lot of time here together, whether it's Sunday for dinners, drinking bourbon on the porch, or doing tastings for batches of Bookers.
While watching Star Wars.
Back when I lived next door, I used to walk across the yard with samples from the plant so Dad and whoever else was lucky enough to be there could gather around the kitchen table and taste them over some barbecue.
Nice.
Booker loved to entertain and always wanted to bring people through the house.
Ham.
Lord knows how many people have been there over the years. Friends, neighbors, business partners, employees. Everyone's welcome.
I think he's really.
Why does
getting
this
into
sound like smut?
I don't know. He's
Dad
really getting
loved
into
when
this.
people would stop by and come in and come out back for a drink. And now it's a tradition that I'm proud to carry on. In this batch, I've tried to capture some of the joyful memories that have been made in the Beam House for you to enjoy at yours.
Nice job, audiobook.
Right. He's adding like a serious layer.
I'm trying.
Yes.
The gatherings,
professionalism to
the
his
gatherings
sweet.
get cringy when he beats his biscuits.
He's layering that
What the
funk
fuck
on
just
it.
happened?
Beating his biscuits. Did you know it was a Booker's batch called Beaten Biscuits?
Yeah,
That's
I know that.
hilarious.
Oh, okay.
I've eaten beaten biscuits before.
The nose on this doesn't seem too hot.
see if there's any.
But interestingly enough, I'm still getting that confectioner sugar on the nose.
Wait, what are the tasting notes?
That's what I'm looking for.
Brown sugar.
The nose is pleasant with vanilla and some dried fruits.
Ooh, dried
That's
fruit.
different.
That's new.
That's
fruit.
Enticing you to take a taste.
Fruit.
Is that it?
That's all it says for nose.
So does it entice you?
The welcome aroma and taste lead to a long and pleasant, sweeter finish coming from the aging oak barrels.
It's just sweet.
Yeah.
So that vanilla that was in the tasting note, it's more like a vanilla
Every-
pipe smoked tobacco.
Oh my god, the palate is pure vanilla infused peanut butter. Wait till it hits. It is straight up Jiffy Lube, not Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy.
Jiffy peanut butter.
Just Jif.
Jif.
You're getting Skippy and Jif.
I'm getting
mixed together.
Skippy and
Vanilla
Jiffy.
peanut butter. Vanilla peanut butter is like,
Right?
yeah.
I'm getting it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting this creamy peanut butter.
And it's like creamy all the way down the back of the throat.
Whoa.
It's kind of like a Friday with JD.
That was Jar Jar.
You do a pretty damn good Jar Jar, by the way. That's pretty good.
Oh, God damn it. The next one's 3 paragraphs. That's fine.
Oh, for the love of God.
So like the goobers, the
Yeah,
Like the
mixture
candy?
of peanut butter
yeah,
and jelly
but it's like
together.
marshmallow and peanut butter.
Oh, like Fluffernutter.
Yeah.
Fluffer fritter.
You guys both. Oh.
The timing on that was amazing. They both about split out.
Oh, it burns.
I was going to say bourbon out the nose.
Come up your nose.
It burns so much, you jerk.
126.
I've got some penicillin for that burn. You said no. You said no spit takes with that.
That should be a barrel
You
pick at
shouldn't-
some point.
you
Fluffer
shouldn't say
fritter.
Fluffer fritter. Oh. If you guys ever do a toasted pick, it should be
Fluffer fritter.
We just did it.
That would be
Double
amazing.
oaked.
It was double oaked, but
Yeah,
it wasn't.
but he's calling
but it
it
wasn't toasted.
He's calling it slap muffin, whatever he's calling it.
slap muffin. It's called Minix muffins.
I know.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
I didn't want to use the Lord's name in vain.
Darth Vader.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is pure peanut butter to me.
I think this is
That's
my favorite
good.
one.
In a good way.
It's
Yeah,
my
this
favorite
is good
one.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Damn it. Oh shit. Doku's donuts. Oh god.
That is tasty.
That is tasty.
It's very close to that reserves batch
Reserves batch.
I don't think so.
from this year.
That one was very complex and layered. I thought that was just
Yeah, I thought
that was
the
on a
Booker's-
different level to me.
Booker's Reserves had like everything was kind of cooked down almost. It was almost like everything was reduced. All these flavors were like reduced down, a little bit more concentrated.
Yeah. I
Not
agree
like
with that.
super concentrated.
No, but I know what you mean. A little
Yeah.
more
There's a little more depth.
Maybe
to
the
it.
front of it just is reminiscent to me.
Yeah, it's straight up peanut butter to me. It's good though. I don't know. I don't know if I like this one or the 3 we had was more of a brown sugar bomb.
The Master Distiller's batch.
Master Distiller's batch. This is a peanut butter, like a creamy peanut butter bomb, which I actually really like.
What's the name of this one again?
Beam House batch?
Yes.
Beam House.
Yes.
Because of what they would drink in their house.
When you drive by their house in Bardstown, and you kind of, you're kind of coming up to the house, you're not looking directly at it, but man, you take a look in that backyard. The whole backyard looks like just a giant, like, what do you call those things? Like a big, it's like a big overhang.
Awning?
Well, it's like an awning, but what do you call like that?
A pergola?
Yeah, maybe it's a pergola back there. You can't really get a good look at it, but I think there's like a big giant pergola back there, and they're all hanging out back there probably.
That sounds
again
nice,
doing the
man.
barbecue. I mean,
Yeah.
could you imagine just hanging out there?
Yeah.
With that family, just freaking drinking great bourbon, probably having country hams, barbecues, probably so cool.
Mrs. No draping clothes over the clothesline.
Like,
Hey, my grandma did that.
you gotta ruin it. You gotta ruin it.
What the fuck? I mean, seriously. This is good. I haven't disliked any of these, though, so far.
I could probably.
I've had some of these that I've
yeah,
disliked.
I could probably go without the first one for the
did you,
price.
But did
like
you
the first
dislike
one.
it?
I dislike it for $100.
But if someone just gave you a pour of it, are you going to turn it?
It'd be all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it's
Like
okay.
that's all I'm saying.
But I'd be happier with either this one or the one we had before it.
Luckily, I didn't buy the first one. Then I guess I've got 2, 3, and 4.
So you
Have
guys,
you had 4 yet?
Yes.
Did you? Well, I don't want to know.
No,
I wanna know.
but I haven't compared it to the other
Any of the others,
the other
yeah.
3. So this will be.
So you had
cool.
it standalone kind of.
Yeah.
I like number 2. Who
Yeah.
does number 2 work for?
You
You
show
right
that
now.
turd who's boss. Yeah, this is good.
Hey, you mind giving
I don't know if I
courtesy
like
flush?
2 or 3 better, but I like them both a lot. I like them both a lot. I like them a lot.
I'm gonna completely shift gears on you, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm assuming you watched the playoffs with Ohio State and Texas.
Of course.
Did you catch on to their shoes, the cleats?
Oh, the Jordan cleats?
They're Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one else said anything, but I was in our group chat.
Did
and I was
anyone
like,
else
their
catch
cleats
what
are
I
fucking
caught?
Jordan 1s. Mm-hmm. And then Jeff was like, oh, they are.
Yeah, a lot of those guys get custom cleats.
I thought that was pretty cool that most
Ohio
of them were
State,
Jordan 1s.
Ohio State, Oregon. Oregon gets the craziest stuff from Nike.
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
yeah,
of
they
Nike, I'm
just get the
sure.
crazy
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
But I was looking, I'm like, those are fucking Jordan 1 cleats. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen cleats that were made into, like, the Jordan 1s.
Also,
So I
they
thought that
just
was cool.
released the Kobe Grinches.
Oh, I
The
haven't
Kobe,
seen those.
The Kobe, the bright green
Yeah,
Grinches
yeah.
that released
are
several
cool.
years ago. They just re-released football cleats out of that. So if you're watching the NFL playoffs, you'll see guys. If you see bright green cleats, most
Yeah.
likely those are the Grinch cleats.
I
Did
didn't catch
anyone
on to
else see after Jack Sawyer did the strip sack, fumble return for a touchdown, the bottom third when he scored the touchdown?
What do you mean the bottom third?
The overlay that they put celebrate.
All
like,
the lower thirds?
Yeah, the lower third.
No, what did it say?
I don't know what that.
Player A team, 82-yard fumble return touchdown.
Player 18.
They didn't have his name?
They didn't have Jack Sawyer's name. No, I sent you this in a text and no one responded to it.
I guess I didn't see that.
I kept
don't-
telling everyone. I was like, look at the bottom third.
Yeah. I may have not caught on what you meant by bottom third.
I would have
they
noticed it.
did not have his name ready at all. And so we rewound it and I took a picture of it. I was like, holy shit, that is hilarious.
That guy's never going to have to pay for a beer ever in Columbus.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
fuck no.
He is a legend now. I mean, he's a Columbus native. Went to high school here, went to college
always
here.
wanted to play for Ohio
Always
State.
wanted to play for Ohio State. Like, that guy has...
Roommates
He's a captain.
roommates with you.
Listen, I will tell
Yeah.
you... I will tell... Did
That
you hear,
whole story I didn't know about until I was watching.
did you hear his interview after the game? He's like, hey, did you get a chance to talk to yours? And he's like, yeah. I walked up to him, and he just said, screw you, laughed, and walked away. And so, like, now Texas fans are showing the picture of viewers walking away laughing after the game's over.
Was he getting like bad press
He's
for
getting
that?
and like, seriously, guys, these guys are friends.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
They're
a lot of them are
roommates. Yeah.
friends, and they were former roommates, and like, come on,
Like good banter.
You see these NFL players killing each other after games, and then at the end of the games trading jerseys. Like,
Yeah.
there's respect there. Now, I'm sure there's bad blood among some of the players.
And there are a lot of old hats that I've seen like interviews on, and they hate it. They hate the fact that the
new
like NBA
blood-
players and the NFL players at the end of the game, they're all like chummy. And,
You know what, though?
Like they don't like that. They rather them.
I agree, but I disagree. I agree because they grew up in an era where you didn't change teams every couple years.
True.
Now, all these players have played with each other at some way, shape, or form. In college now it's happening because there are transfer portals and stuff like that. That never happened before. You would have never seen, when I was in college, an Ohio State player and a Michigan player after the game shaking hands and appreciating each other. It just wouldn't have happened. Now it's likely to happen because those players have probably played together at a different school, sometimes at high school, sometimes at another school before, transferring in the transfer portal. So it's just, I get it. As a fan, and here's the thing, as a fan, I understand the anger, but as a player, you guys have known each other. They've gone to the same McDonald's All-American camps. They've gone to the same
Listen, let's be honest.
Under Armour camps.
Most fans just will never understand that type of
Right, because they've never
dynamic.
played at that level.
Yeah.
But these guys all know each other now. All the Under Armour camps, the Nike camps, all those camps, they've all been to those camps together. They grew up together. They played against each other. They competed against each other. They hung out in dorms together in those camps. They know each other.
I can tell you from experience because I play golf that when we're on the golf course, we are talking nothing but trash. Once we're done with our round, we're all in the clubhouse laughing, telling jokes.
You're like,
We're
look at these balls, boys.
Yeah. I mean, we're all at the end of Like the worst trash talk ever, but okay.
At golf balls, I don't know.
No. So I had this thing on the first hole.
Hey, Brett, tell me you don't golf without telling me you don't golf.
I don't golf.
Look at these balls, boys.
So I had this thing.
Is it a 3-wood? I don't know.
But now I guarantee the next time Fritter Tits over here plays golf, he's going to be like, look at those balls,
boys.
I fucking hope so.
So on the first hole, whoever I was playing against, once they completed that hole, they could have parred, they could have bogeyed, didn't matter. I was always going to look at him and say, looks like somebody came to play today. Just kind of getting ahead a little bit at a time.
Is that after you say, look at these balls?
That doesn't happen till like 9th hole.
Okay.
That's after he hits it short of the ladies' tees and has to pull his balls out.
Drop trowel.
When I played football in high school, we had this crazy linebacker who used to yell across the line at the quarterback all the time.
Hey,
And he used to say the same thing all the time.
Was his name Jason?
No, it wasn't. I was the emergency linebacker.
I was the backup.
I was the backup linebacker.
in a pinch.
Yeah, in a
I
pinch.
can confirm that my balls were white, though, too.
What just happened?
What
is going on?
What is happening?
We went from serious.
I'll say
Hey, hold on. Read this batch. I'm tapping out.
Well, no, he would yell across at the quarterback. He goes, "Oh man, you're the one," and he's like, "You're the one that I heard that's adopted." He would yell at the quarterback every game. It was hilarious. Try to mess with his head. All right.
My dad was telling me about you.
Yeah.
You're adopted. I think you're my brother.
I tell you what, some of the best shit talkers are catchers in baseball.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are some of the, and they're like
there
real
was a whole
subtle
scene
about
in
it.
Major League.
Yeah.
That was good with that. That was he did.
Even the Sandlot, that little kid in the Sandlot. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like fucking, I forget his name, Porter or something like that. Just talking mad shit.
Ah, that was good stuff. All right,
This is
read
Jimmy's
this real quick.
batch bourbon.
It's story time.
This is the one I think a lot of us were waiting for this year, right?
Of course.
Son of a bitch! It's
Yeah.
3 paragraphs. All right.
Oh my God! Buckle up, guys.
Just go. Oh, all
buckle
right.
up for Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah. Is it that bad? All
Tahi, let's go.
I mean, you've had nice moments of putting together a couple sentences in a row.
Okay, I'll take that.
Your first one was a bit.
I
of a
was
struggle.
just warming up.
Yeah, you
all
were
right?
warming up.
All
This
right.
is unfiltered.
I will say your first one was Martell-esque.
Okay. That's fine.
The other two so far have been okay. This is the third since then.
62.9. It's 7 years, 9 months, and 29
starting off
days.
strong.
That's not starting off great. Just saying. He can't read numbers now.
It's a joke, people. It says 125.8
He
proof.
said skibbity too.
He wanted it to be 69.2.
Skibbity toilet. Jimmy's batch bourbon. Oh. Once at a bourbon festival.
Hold on, you got to restart.
All right.
You can't throw that out there and then just go naturally into the next sentence as though it was part of it.
That's what we learned about Skibbity toilet while we were on the fucking bourbon trip.
I'm laughing like a grandpa. Oh my God.
laughing like pervert the pervert.
Oh shit.
Okay, go. That was Herbert the pervert.
Okay. Come here, Chris. All right,
I have a tip for
All
you.
right. Jimmy's batch.
Jimmy's batch bourbon.
And go.
Once at a bourbon festival, Jimmy came up to Dad and me and poured. That is not the right English. Jimmy, it's what it says. I swear to God, that's what it
Take
says.
3.
Jimmy came up to Dad and me
Take 3.
and poured out 3 glasses of whiskey. That he
No, that
wanted
is
us to
actually
taste.
proper
Yeah, it just didn't read right.
because he said Jimmy came up to me.
Jimmy
He
came
wouldn't
up
say
to
Jimmy
Dad
ca-
and me.
Right,
You're
but you wouldn't
correct.
say
You
Jimmy came
removed
up to I, so it is correct.
It just sounded weird. All right, Jimmy came up to Dad and me, poured out 3 glasses of a whiskey that he wanted us to taste. It was some real nice stuff. That is not. That could be better worded.
Holy
And when
shit.
Dad asked what it was, Jimmy said it was something new that he was working on, something special. I thought it was pretty cool to bring a new product to a competitor and ask what they think. It showed me the importance of trust, camaraderie, and just how much of those old timers respect each other. The other big thing Jimmy taught me was to treat everybody like he wanted to be treated. When we went to events at bars or liquor stores, he always stayed late to make sure everyone got their picture taken and their bottle signed. It's easy to take for granted that we'd get to do what we do because of the people that stand in line for our whiskey, but Jimmy never did. What?
Jimmy never stood in line.
I guess, like, literally, it's easy to take for granted that we get to do what we do because of the people that stand in our
Jimmy
line
never
for
took
whiskey.
it for granted,
But
is
Jimmy
what he's
never.
saying.
Oh, he never took it for granted.
That's what I'm taking.
Just like Dad, there are a few things Jimmy loves more than a damn good bottle of bourbon. So cheers to him and the mentorship he's given through the thick and thin of all these years. I hope you get to share a glass with company as good and as true as Jimmy.
Good story.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Is in Seinfeld, where he's like, Jimmy likes to play ball. Jimmy likes Elaine. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Because he talks in the third person.
Yeah. That was a good story. I like that story. This is the one I think a lot of people I remember hearing people talking about waiting for this one all year long. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to taste this. You've already had this, right, Jason? Once before.
Yeah, but I have not had it against the other three, or as right after the other three.
Sure.
So I'm curious to see how this does in comparison.
The nose on this, there's a theme today of confectioner sugar on all these for me. Oh, hey, there's your windscreen.
Oh, I'm sitting on it.
We found it.
I'm gonna put it here so I don't spit.
Yeah, it's too late. You already spit last fucking like on 02. All right, I get some confectioner sugar. I feel like I've got some dustiness to it on the nose.
Is that the dusty peanut?
It might be. I'm trying to figure that out. But there's definitely like a confectioner and like a funk, almost like a dusty funk. I can't tell if it's peanut or not.
Interesting.
Diving in. I feel like the ethanol actually has a presence on the palate, but that may just me needing to rinse.
This one's a little flat to me.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's a little flat. So I feel like I know we drank them out of order, and that's my fault. So I totally own up to that.
Who cares? That doesn't make a difference.
But 2402, which we drank third, I think was probably my favorite on mouth.
I think
feel,
03
whatever.
and 02 were my two favorites so far.
Yeah.
But that's the first sip of this one.
My palate might be blown out by now,
I don't think it is,
but
especially after Nulu.
yeah, that's true. What this one has, and I can get why they named it what they did. It's almost got like a wild turkey funk to it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disrespect wild turkey like that.
No, but I know what you're saying.
There's it's a funkiness that the other three didn't have.
That funk is there. I
I
caught that in
agree.
the nose.
I think there is a little bit like an oak funk to it.
I got it on the nose, and it's coming through on the palate.
And I don't know if it's just because it's named like a Jimmy's batch. I'm getting a little bit more citrus in this one, which is kind of a callback to turkey a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, I agree with Brett. When I first
It is a little flat too.
couple sips, it's very middle of the road.
It's not as layered as the other ones we've had tonight.
I will say it's very well balanced. It doesn't really go one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's got some spice. It has a little heat.
It's easy to drink.
Easy to drink for the proof point. But yeah, it doesn't really have anything that stands out.
What was the proof on this one again?
It is 125.8.
So it's right in the range of the others. What was the year? How old was it?
They're all like 7 years. So 7 years, 9 months.
So these are all in the 7-year range. this
Yeah, they've
year.
all been 7 years
Okay.
and like some change.
So you're saying
Yeah.
for a man that was pretty round, it's kind of flat.
I would agree.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
it is not. This is probably.
Do you
Oh man, this
practice
is the
these-
bubble
Do you
gum.
practice these in the mirror?
How dare you say that
JD.
about Jimmy?
No, Booker's round.
But I'm just wondering if JD practices these catchphrases in the
Booker's
mirror.
round. Everybody's
I
round.
just come up with them.
Yeah.
There's-
I don't know which is better. I almost wish you practiced them in the mirror.
Maybe I forget them.
Yeah, I would agree with this. This
has a really nice finish. I like the sweetness, the oak, everything kind of comes together, but the front and mid palate is just lacking a little bit.
I could see that. This may be my least favorite of the night, to be honest.
Your least?
Least, yeah. I enjoyed one
This
better
is,
than I think most of you did.
This is probably third for me.
one is your least
One
favorite?
is my least. This is third.
I enjoyed one. I thought there was some nice layers in one that really hit home for me. I don't mind the bubblegum flavor. I know you do.
I do not.
I think some people would like one over this because I do think there's more of a punch, a flavor in one.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why.
I'm 2, 3, 4, 1.
Not
one's
the
your
order that
least
we
favorite?
drank them, though, correct? Like the batch.
Yeah, batch 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 1.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I know.
Yeah,
that's
I
my
think
fuck
two
up.
is two
Yeah,
and
much-
3 are battling it out for 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah. It's like, what do I want? More of the brown sugar and, and like almost that black tea
They're
note?
both good for different
Or do I want to go
reasons.
straight up peanut butter in
Yeah.
3?
Right.
Yeah, I like
Which
the
one
peanut butter
more.
in 3, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think they're battling back and forth. I think they're it's like a 1A 1B situation for me. But there's a drop off for sure for me in number 4. I think I like 1 better than 4.
It's almost just like 2 even keel.
How's that turning out?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Is it an even mixture, you think, or is it?
It's close.
Is it?
Yep.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4
1,
mixed
2,
together.
3, 4 all blended in this glass.
All right.
This has
So
some black tea also that I'm getting now.
Yeah, I can get that too.
You get that? Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, bring it out. Bring it out. Let's do it.
What the fudge?
Travel
Fritters
batch.
Fritters good for something.
Travel batch. And as a bonus for this evening, we've got Booker's travel batch, what is it, 2015?
It's 2015 batch 2.
Wow.
63.7%, 127.4 proof, 7 years, 2 months, and 5
That
days.
sounds special.
I'm about to rinse one of these fucking
Yeah,
glasses.
we
I already rinsed this one in
we didn't plan for
preparation.
this.
Son of a
Yeah, I'm definitely rinsing the glass for this.
bitch.
When I pulled the wax tab, that's a fritter.
That
pour.
was a giggle pour. Holy shit. My God. It's his own bottle, so he only has himself to blame.
That's fine. Look at him. He's assumed the position. That's the giggle pour position.
Oh, he stopped pouring to giggle.
He's laughing. Look at him.
Doing
Look at
it
him.
right now. It's happening.
Did you
guys.
notice that?
It's live. Look at that pour.
Did you notice though? He stopped pouring mine to giggle with his. So now we know it's a choice. He was.
I don't know.
He was.
Pour my
giggle-
own. Son of a bitch. I don't.
Aw, he didn't giggle for mine.
I still gave you a giggle pour.
I should have made
pretty-
him. I should have made him giggle.
I'm more. Yeah, but you have to drive home. I don't.
It's okay. No, I'm good.
No, cheers.
Oh, cheers, man.
Oh, yeah.
JD,
Thanks for
thank
bringing
you for
that.
sharing,
Good call.
sir.
Good call. Cheers on that.
Did we just touch tips?
We did.
I hope so.
Oh, let me see this bottle. This bottiglia.
Yeah,
Give
so
us a quick intro on
When I
this.
pull tabbed it, like the wax just kind of peeled apart.
Really? Yeah.
It's like crumbled.
Did you?
Wow, look
I've
at
had some
this.
Knob Creeks
Even
like
this
that.
was 7 years,
Yeah.
2 months, 5 days old.
I wonder
What's
if
the
they think
proof?
that's like where the real house is.
127.4.
So we've been in the same wheelhouse or
in
the
that
same
same-
ballpark
it's in that same
all
realm.
night. They've all been 120s tonight, right? And all 7 years something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
There was
it
one that
takes
was
from like
130.
what floor 4, 5, 6.
I have no idea. on
It
that.
says in all of them. If you want to read, I can.
I have
if you
no
want me to read,
idea.
I can tell it to you.
Yeah, 02/2015. And this has a batch name.
No,
Oh, okay.
This is a
Why
travel.
were you calling it traveler?
it's a
batch?
Because
it's
it's
a 700 ml.
it's
a
a-
European release.
Oh,
a
it's a
European
Euro
release,
release.
yeah.
Got it.
This on the nose falls a little flat for me so far.
It's kind of cloudy.
Good.
Yeah, I see that as a good thing.
Doesn't bother me. I will say it's a little flat on the nose for me. It doesn't have that regular punch that I get
Yeah.
on a Booker's.
I don't like it when it's super ethanol in the nose.
No, but a lot of times when it is super ethanol in the nose, and you finally get past that, there's layers and there's complexity there that I'm not.
Reminds me a little bit of actually. Well, I'll let you guys taste it, but it reminds me of one of the 4 we had. Curious what you guys think on the palate, not so much on the nose.
Yeah. What did you think of the nose though? Was it
Okay.
It was
A little
just
flat, a
kind
little
of
new.
yeah.
Again, very even keel, nothing too crazy.
Oh, which one is that?
Reminds me of batch 2.
Exactly.
Brown. Yeah.
That's what I got.
yeah.
It's the brown
The
sugar
brown
bomb.
sugar bomb. Yeah.
And I'm not really getting the peanut butter, but I feel like this has a little bit more of an oak punch than the.
Has a nice oaky finish. Though.
Yeah, it does.
You're
I
right.
like it.
Yeah. This isn't bad. This.
I did pay up a little bit for this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
This
I
isn't bad.
didn't travel outside the country, so
This is good.
Have you ever been outside of the country?
Yeah, I've been to Canada, Mexico.
Canada doesn't count.
Dude, Canada's fucking the bomb. I could move to Canada
I thought it was going to be like I've been to Puerto Rico.
Right. Canada's the 51st state. That doesn't count.
Canada's cool
Not
as
Puerto
shit.
Rico?
I love Canada. Canada's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Puerto Rico's
Montreal's the shit.
United States.
I've only been more west. I've
Are
been to
you
like
talking strip clubs?
No, maybe.
Oh.
Shut
like Alberta and BC.
I got hit on by a cross-dresser in Canada once.
Was it
A female cross-dresser?
I could tell by the
Adam's
Adam's
apple?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying a female dressed as a man.
No, it's a man dressed as a female.
Oh, gotcha.
To show you the Canadian whoopie pie.
No.
Show you her Winnipeg.
Show you her.
Winnipeg.
No, but
That's
I got
a city in Canada.
I got a glimpse of her Quebec.
No shit,
Well,
Sherlock.
I don't know.
But that was a good, I know that it's a fucking city. That's why it's funny, jackass.
Dude, I went to Quebec.
I know
Quebec
it's
is
funny.
amazing.
I made the joke.
Did she
They
show
all
you
speak
her
French there.
Winnipeg? I understand that it's a city. That's why it's funny. You don't have to fucking spell it out to me like a pop-up fucking fritter book.
Did you know Montreal's a city?
No,
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
We have derailed.
Wait, real quick.
It's
Because
Booker's
I
Day.
wanted to pose this question because I just did my live stream last week. One of my favorite live streams that I do every year is like a 2024 recap of like what happened in whiskey. Then I do kind of like my predictions, but then I also name like the bottles that I want to come out in 2025. So like bottles that have not been released yet, but if you had like a bottle that you would wish would either be released by any specific distillery, like what would it be? Because there's been bottles that I've been.
This is a good topic.
Yeah,
You go first since you already
Yeah.
did this on your show.
So I had a few. So Michter's American, but cask strength,
Ooh.
right?
Because I love Michter's American to me is like a vanilla bomb.
It is. So I want to try that at cask
Cast
strength.
strength would be.
Yeah. So that was
really
one.
cool. Okay.
I always ask.
You always ask for a
I-
Michter's something.
Well, no,
I
that
feel
one,
like-
that one in particular.
Yeah.
I always want the Michter's American cask strength. Then I always ask for a Woodford Reserve double oaked cask strength. I would like to try that at cask strength.
Double oaked or double oaked?
Either one.
Either
just
one.
give me
Even
one
just
of those
double oaked would
two
be
cask
fine.
strength.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be happy.
All right.
I always ask for let's get a decanter to come back. Let's re-release the Old Crow, 10-year Old Crow. Let's make Old Crow great again.
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's do it.
I'd be down with that.
If we're talking about bourbon royalty,
Right?
from a bourbon label perspective,
Why
it's
has it?
bourbon royalty.
Why has it just been kicked to the curb?
Like why? Yeah, exactly. Old Crow is
Yeah.
bourbon royalty.
Let's make Old Crow great again.
Yes.
Let's bring back the decanters, the chess pieces.
We should
Let's make a
hey.
2025 chess set.
let's do
cool.
let's do a hashtag. Let's do a hashtag movement.
Make Old Crow great
Make
again.
Old Crow great again.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
What were some of the other ones I had?
Make hold on.
I
Make
have one.
Old Crow, MOCGA, MOCGA.
Yeah, and since
Hashtag
we're-
MOCGA.
and since we're back in the Bookers, I said it's been kind of rumored for the last couple of years. Let's bring back Booker's Rye.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get a Booker's Rye back because that was such a legendary bottle. Big Man's Batch,
down with
Booker's
that.
Rye.
People were saying that little book with all the rye, it was going to be like reminiscent of Booker's Rye.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was good. It's very good. I really liked Little Book this past year.
I never did have that one.
But it was.
What was this
yeah.
past year's version? What was it?
The Little Book.
Yeah.
It was.
Was it
there
the
was a-
inf-
I think
not
it was
the
a-
Infinite?
I forgot the age. I think it was a 17 or 18 year Kentucky bourbon, and then the rest were all different ryes.
Yeah.
That were blended.
But that's different from the Infinite, right?
Yeah, the Infinite was
Trash.
Infinite, yeah, I didn't like
didn't like it
Infinite.
either.
It was like sucking on a sponge.
You know what I want to try?
What?
Anal.
Winnipeg?
Pegging.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg?
Winnipegging.
No.
Quebecian.
Hey,
No.
we do pegging Fridays here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Peggy comes.
Wait, this is a bottle you want to release? Mm-hmm. What do you want? What do you want?
Foolproof Wild Turkey Boo Rye.
Oh,
I get down with that.
foolproof wild turkey Burai.
We really fucking dove into the fucking coffers there, didn't we?
Yeah. Do you know what I wanted? And I saw one this year and I didn't buy it. I'm a little.
No, yours. Your choice can't exist yet.
But I'm saying, like, this was something.
He doesn't understand the assignment.
I understand. I just want to make note. So this is honorable mention. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention just means you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It means I don't have to follow the rules. Go ahead.
I always wanted an Elijah Craig toasted barrel proof.
You had one.
No.
Our bottle share.
Okay,
and
so
it
I'm
was
saying,
trash.
like, I wanted that for years. And so kind of like leading into this. And so
Did you not buy one?
I did not because I bought the Peerless.
And
Oh,
you're
trash.
probably
Because-
glad you didn't because it was trash. The
Yeah,
one we had.
I'm very
Yeah, the
Did
Elijah
you
Craig-
revisit?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm very happy I bought the Peerless
Elijah
cask
Craig.
strength single
The
barrel
Elijah
whatever.
Craig, it was okay.
I just that was so I guess that's kind of one like sometimes it's not always what you thought it would be.
Am I better off trading
So
that?
I really wanted
Yes.
that bottle, and I'm glad everyone bought it. I'm like, well, I'm going to pass because everyone's buying it. I got to get something different.
yeah.
For me,
You
it'd be
like-
some kind of like
you like some
Russell's at
Peerless
cask
stuff.
strength.
You're a Peerless
instead of like a single
fanboy.
barrel Russell's at 113 or 110. Sorry, it could be like at 119, 120 or something a little higher proof.
Yeah, I mean, you
You're
can
a
get
Peerless fanboy.
I
under
like
the
Peerless
covers.
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
You
Peerless
like
is
the double
very
oak,
good.
right?
you can get
Yes.
those. You can get those. You know,
The
uncut.
double oaked rye at Peerless is fantastic. My God, that's one of my
like
favorites.
brands like Pride of Anderson County, Rare Character. They'll release
That's a
uncut,
good point.
A different proof
Russell's,
point.
but you got to pay for it.
Well, your
But it's
four
a
gates
different
that
proof
you've
point
released
too,
have
right?
been some of those. Like they're blends, but that one had some like 14-year Russells or something. They're 14-year,
that wasn't ours. The one that
or that you brought at least.
that
I
was the
should
Pride
say.
of Anderson County.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Oh,
was-
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
so
a
good.
that was a 13, 14-year CNE.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, the thing's good.
It'd be
That
really
was- that
cool
was
if they
very
did like
good.
a Buffalo Trace Wild Turkey blend or something.
So my other request was a collab, like doing collabs, like
Okay.
like actually having the two distillers like work together on. So like I
Like
feel like
who are the who
Like, holy-
which two distillers?
like Beam and Turkey, they're close families.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't they collabed on something yet? I mean,
Beam
maybe
and Heaven Hill would.
maybe they have like legal things that they can't, but
Heaven
it'd
Hill
be
would
kind
be
of
cool
cool
would
if
be
they did.
solid.
Jack
for me.
Daniels and
Jack
Woodford
Daniels
Reserve.
and somebody, or even Heaven Hill and Willet. They're close by.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I would love to see is a Jack Daniels Woodford Reserve collab at 90.4 proof.
Jesus. You know what'd be really cool? Like an MGP Michter's hazmat.
Hazmat like blend between two.
MGP.
Like
maybe?
140 proof
MGP
Michter's.
I don't know if you're going to even get close to hazmat with Michter's.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's what.
'Cause they don't
Is there
even
barrel
go in
in
the barrel.
I mean, it's hypothetical, right? This is really cool.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So those were
Hey,
kind of.
you know what I'd love is a unicorn farting out sparkles into my fucking glass.
I can arrange
that's
that.
why we have this.
Yeah, this is not
I
bad.
can
This is
arrange
pretty
that.
good.
This is pretty good.
How
It's-
would
it's
you
growing on me.
How would you rate this one compared to the other four?
two and what did we say? 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Are the two? I'd say this is right behind that. Right behind it.
I still like two
close
better.
3.
I think this surpasses 3 for me. It's like 2, this, 3.
I would agree.
Yeah, Brett and you align.
I, think
I like-
you're all drunk.
I
but
agree
that's
with
fine.
that because three, as much as
I'm
I
an
liked
influencer, it's okay.
It's just very. You are an influencer.
The people schnoz.
3 really just kind of has like that down the middle vanilla peanut butter note.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 2 and this have just a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
Can we arrange like a Joseph A. Magnus day where we go up there and
That's all you, buddy. You're like the Joseph
I want that
Magnus, like,
picture
guru.
of Brett's nose and Nancy's nose in a glass.
Joseph A. Magnus.
We
We're
can,
your
like,
13
The
Probably
two
have-
noses.
You probably have a better chance of getting to see her down at Still Austin.
That's true. Oh, that tanager. I want to try that.
Oh, I should have brought that.
Joseph A. Magnus. Buy one suit, get 20 pairs of socks free.
You're gonna like the way you look.
You're gonna like the way you look.
Buy 2 suits, get 1 free.
Yeah, like what is that?
Joseph A. Banks.
So, dude, do you
Joseph
have
A.
a
Banks.
bottle you'd like to see in 2025 or something that? Like, what would it be? Probably have to think on it.
I don't. That's a good question. Like, honestly, God, I love everything you guys have already said.
My other request was like, hey, makers, do something new.
Yeah.
Hey, makers, do a single malt.
No.
We don't need burnt tires.
American single malt.
Oh, hey,
What?
Oh, we got to send a
hold
sample
on,
to Steve.
Hold on.
That's not a sample, Steve.
Steve Nally wants the milestone.
The adults are about to talk.
I love that bottle.
Hey, Old Forester,
Okay.
they're about to release a weeded bourbon.
Oh, yeah. They got a weeded bourbon in the mash bill.
Really?
Yeah.
You were like Macho Man. You're like, oh yeah.
From Chris Morris.
Yeah.
They have a weeded bourbon coming out.
Yes.
Did he tell you like age details?
No.
It's still a year or two out, they said.
He said
okay.
if we mentioned it, he'd have to
I
kill
just
us.
hope they don't release it young because weeded
No,
bourbons
I
at
don't-
young
I don't-
suck.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. But I don't think it's going to be. He told us this in passing. And
He's
so
like,
at our tasting, at our pick, I was like, listen, I'm a podcast. Am I not supposed to mention that? He goes, well, probably not, but don't worry about it. I was like, okay.
Chris Morris just went from here to here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why my pillow's on my lap right now.
Connor O'Driscoll said Hyman pour, so he's up there too.
I'm so yelling that out on the live stream.
So he said it. He's like, you know what? He's like, I probably shouldn't have, but go ahead.
Can I submit a new?
But no, listen, I'm actually kind of excited to see what weeded bourbon does in a heat cycled environment.
Well, Old Forester's never done wheat, so we don't even know what.
Right, but to see it then, not only wheat, but then in a heat cycled environment.
I feel like bananas and wheat go really well together.
Well, who knows what the mash bill would be, right? Because it might
But
not
still
even, it may not have.
Maybe it's a different
banana.
yeast strain. You wonder.
Right. Who knows? It's a different mash bill altogether. It might be different yeast. It's probably not going to have banana in it. I wouldn't.
You never. I mean,
It may.
Yeast,
Could
right?
you imagine?
I like bananas in my Special K.
Hey,
I like ketamine too.
you know that Old Forester weeded. Hey, that Old Forester weeded bourbon.
Fucking Brett's killing me tonight, man.
Oh fuck! Seriously,
Do you not know that's like a street name for
It is. It is.
no.
I don't
What
know.
it-
You keep looking at me like you're clueless to what I'm saying. I don't know.
Listen. I went to college,
Yeah, in like '92. Like I don't know.
92 through 2000.
There's a
I wasn't wrong.
There's a single barrel pick called Special K too, or Dude
Yeah,
Special K.
Dude,
yeah. I still have that bottle.
Hey, he named it.
I still have
I
it.
did, and
Yeah.
it was outstanding.
It's freaking so
It's
good.
so
that
good.
pick.
I don't want to get through it. It's so good. So I just took my Infinity bottle, which is the Russell's Infinity picks, and it was getting low. So I
Well,
went.
you've been drinking out of it, then I assume. I didn't realize that.
No, I've been drinking out of it,
Yeah.
yeah. And other people have asked to have some out of it. So I've been taking. Just last week, I took all of the Russell's picks that I have and added another ounce each from
Okay.
them, and I've got like 10 of them. So I was like 10 more ounces. So it's back up to about 2/3 full.
Cool.
It's pretty damn good.
Letting it mingle a little bit.
Yeah, letting it mingle.
Nice.
Letting
Flying
it
cannoli.
mingle.
I tell
Let
you
them
what
dance.
my
Let 'em
new
dance.
decanter
Let 'em dance.
holds.
That's you should tell people they're dancing in there.
They're dancing.
It's 1.35 ounces of every Four Roses single barrel strength plus LE.
1.35? How the fuck does that work out?
Seriously?
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
It's 4 CLs. My jigger is 4 CLs.
His jigger.
This fucking guy.
See, that's what his jigger is.
I figured out what 4 CL is so I could put the ounce input in.
So 1.35 households.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that 4 CLs for 4 roses.
Hey, I did think about that. That's my whole plan all along.
He had no idea.
He did not think about that because he didn't say shit until you said it. If he thought about it, he would have led with
He would
that.
have said it's 4 CLs each because it's 4 roses.
Yeah, he would have led with that.
He would have
to
wink,
begin
wink, snapped.
with. He would have wink, wink.
But
snapped.
I've included LEs with it too. 4 Roses small batch LEs. in
Oh,
there.
you some bitch.
Hey, you know what, guys? I think
That's like 140,000 roses. Nice job.
that's a lot of
lot of
roses.
That's a lot of
A
weddings,
lot of
right?
roses.
Isn't it
It's
like
a lot of weddings.
No,
Or a lot of funerals. I don't know.
It's a lot of proposals.
Yeah.
Just
Who
pour
knows?
that on your bed for your wife. So like, babe, it's full of roses.
Bon Jovi?
That's right.
Bon-
He does a song, Bed
I
of
know
Roses.
Bed of Roses. I get it.
Okay.
We're getting real.
We've all
You're
been,
like-
Brett, you and I have both been explaining.
You're
Just mansplaining
but you're
everything to
explaining
dude.
shit that doesn't need explained.
Dude's getting so
Clearly it does.
mansplained tonight.
But I don't need it. I understood it. I just didn't think it was funny.
I'm going to purposely
Maybe
mix
that's
all
why
these
they
up.
feel like you need to
I
be
think you need
mansplained.
some more
Maybe.
bookers. You might find it funnier.
Maybe if they mansplain it, I'll laugh.
No.
If you have
Anywho.
more bookers, you'd find it funny.
So Winnipeg is a city in Canada.
North of Quebec.
Good callback. Good callback.
Nice.
That actually made me laugh. All right, fuckers. It's time to end this shit because the plane has circled the
let's-
airport for about 2 hours.
We're out of fuel.
Thanks for joining in on this episode of Bourbon Hunters. And give us a 5.0 rating if you enjoy our show. If you do not enjoy our show, give us a 5.0 rating. And give me some separate feedback so we know what you don't like.
Or Clyde will bite you.
Or Clyde might bite you, and JD might ASMR you to death. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us on yet another hunt for bourbon. Please give us a 5-star review anywhere you are listening, but if you don't, leave some constructive criticism in the review so that we can better improve our show. But until then, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon. The Bourbon Hunters podcast has been craft distilled, produced, recorded, and edited by Dude Pool. For any questions, comments, or recommendations, please reach out to info@bourbonhunters.com